Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves to go on a good quest. It's Frank. How are you today?
I am ready to go on this quest with you today, my friend. I am ready to put on the backpack with all the... This has gone really off the rails.
So you're Sam,
But-
is what you're saying.
Sure. I know that
you're
somebody
Sam.
does.
Yeah,
And-
Sam puts on a backpack.
Okay. So, yeah, that's...
Good
Yeah,
for you.
and-
Sam's a great character.
Yeah.
You don't know anything, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. Sam's great.
Thanks, Frodo.
You're welcome. Oh, no. That means I'm Frodo. Oh, no. Oh,
I don't make the rules.
I don't want it to be Pippin. Anyway, we're here on Beer with Geeks to talk about beer and geeky things. But so let's start with that beer. Let's go in chronological order. Frank, what are you drinking today?
I am
Ooh,
about to geek
fresh.
out on this beer because this is a Focal Banger IPA from the Alchemist in Vermont. These are the guys that do Heady Topper. That's their famous one. And this one, Focal Banger, is an American IPA. Yeah, it's got we have a real love for IPAs in the Alchemist. Oh, okay, nothing really interesting. It's just a lot of things about their ethos. But
Okay, great.
It's a solid IPA. Thanks to my wife's uncle, who always stops by with nice beer goodies every so often, and restocks my beer fridge with little treats like this one. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm happy for you. I'm drinking the internationally awarded winning beer Daura, Damm, which is from Barcelona. I've had this on the show before, or I've had this on a different show, but now I'm having it here. I can't even remember anymore. Doesn't matter.
got to keep your story straight somehow.
Time is a loopy thing. Anyway, it's a lager, 100% natural ingredients. It is also gluten free, and
Yeah,
you wouldn't know. It's amazing. It's an incredible
that's
beer.
awesome. That's awesome. So that's
Feeling
the
so
is that
good.
the you said the lager or the IPA?
This is the lager.
The
They do have an
lager.
IPA.
Nice.
They do have an IPA, but I have not tasted it because, as we know, IPAs are just okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
There.
mean, this one is good as far as IPAs go, but it is very, very, very bitter. Very, very bitter.
Just not. Sometimes I'm not in a bitter mood.
Sometimes I'm not. Now tonight I was, but yeah, sometimes I'm not.
Right.
So that's how it goes. I'm looking for the international bitterness units on this one, but it doesn't. I don't see it ready at hand. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
You know who is bitter, Frank?
Ooh,
Dr. Alan Grant is a slightly bitter man. One of the
He
one of
can
the
be.
one of the heroes, one of the questers of Jurassic Park. Look at that. I
Look
didn't
at
plan
that.
that at all.
Nice,
Look at that hat. I know.
beautiful. Yeah,
I didn't plan that at all.
you couldn't have planned it. Even if you had planned it, it couldn't have done any better.
No, I truthfully just forgot a hat, and this was the only one in my office. And so I wanted to wear a hat because I had messy hair.
Well,
And
there
now
you
we do
go.
this on YouTube, and that can't be out there because I'm vain. Yeah. So
Nice.
here we are.
Cool.
So we're back to
Doing our
our
therapy in public. I like it.
indeed. Isn't that what every podcast is?
I suppose. I suppose.
Let's be serious. Every amateur podcast and
Yeah.
some professional ones
And so,
are-
yes,
are therapy in public.
Yeah.
For
pretty much.
absolutely. we're continuing our game, which we have not done in some time. Is this a quest? Is that a quest? Is it a quest?
What the quest?
What the quest? I can't even. It's the names. I don't come up with the names. Actually, that's not true. I do come up with the names. I just don't remember them.
What the quest?
What the quest? What the quest? Anyway, we're here with a bunch of movies, TV shows, whatever. And we're gonna go through who the quester is, what's their place to go, their reason to go there, trials and challenges along the way. But most importantly, in every story, there's always a self-discovery. What is that self-discovery at the end of every story? Because basically every story is a quest. So let's get down to it. We're gonna start with Jurassic Park. It's a goodie. Quester is Dr. Grant. Sorry, everybody else in the movie.
Yep.
But it's Dr. Grant.
Yep.
You could make an argument. You could make a strong argument that it's also Mr. Hammond, but I'm not here for that right now.
Yeah, that could be yes. That's another.
He's really the only character that also goes through a moment of self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, not really.
Like they go through a big thing, but I don't know if I guess the kids maybe.
I mean, I guess like Tim,
but like
maybe but thing where like dinosaurs are not just fun things; they can be dangerous things. But ultimately, that's not. The rest of them are all supporting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In the face of Dr. Alan Grant, whose place to go is ding ding ding, Jurassic Park. Right,
or Isla Nublar or whatever, however you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Isla? I never know.
Isla Nublar.
Isla. I never know.
Reason to go there to study dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Confirm their
check out the
check out the park.
Endorse the park.
Mm-hmm. Get some funding.
Funding. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What's the trials and challenges?
The whole movie is the trials and challenges.
Yeah. The at least a 2-hour movie, 90 minutes of it.
After the first 30 minutes of exposition, it's pretty much all trials and challenges.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Surviving dinosaur attacks, malfunctioning technology.
Yep.
Electric fences.
Mm-hmm. Velociraptors, T-Rexes.
God complexes.
Yes.
Whatever.
Protecting the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Which that leads directly into the self-discovery, Frank. What is Dr. Grant's self-discovery?
His self-discovery, it's like he comes around on the kids.
Yeah, very important.
They kind of make him feel open to the possibility of parenthood.
Right, because it's not just kids and these kids in general. He states very explicitly at the beginning of the movie, pre-trials and challenges, that that he doesn't want kids.
Right.
That they smell, they bite, they're loud, they're expensive, whatever. He's not interested in being a father or a father figure in any stretch of the imagination. And so by the end, he actually learned that bitterness kind of ebbs away.
Yep.
That he has paternal instincts, and that kids are not as bad as dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's his real self-discovery is about parenthood.
And if you were going to do Hammond, it's like he learns that like playing God leads to bad places.
Correct. But the two kind of intersect together, right? Because how do you actually create life? What is the actual life?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Creating children, right? That's that's kind of the basic one. And so Dr. Grant has no interest in creating life, right? And goes to this island where life is artificially manufactured,
and
said that it's a good thing. And he determines that it's not, but he is open to actually creating life himself. This is the path that he has taken. This is why none of the other Jurassic Park movies even come close to.
It's true. It's true. The first one is so airtight and so just crafted and
right.
It's
right there.
It's a classic. It's all right there. It's all right there. It is a classic for a reason.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to let you take this next one,
okay,
Frank, because I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I will one day. Tron. I have the first one here. So I can help you a little bit because I have some notes stolen from the internet.
Okay. let me see. Okay, so and we're talking original 1982 Tron.
Yeah, I figured because we could always go back and do the other ones.
Sure. So Kevin Flynn, the other one, yes,
on the way.
Yes. Kevin Flynn is the quester. He wants to go to the grid inside the computer. That's the place to go. His reason, that's where I start to get a little fuzzy. I know it has to do with the MCP, Master Control Program, right?
Right. So isn't he like maybe the owner of the company or something like that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, and it's that he thinks the MCP stole his program or something.
Right, which would be a trial and
stole
challenge.
Stole the game. They stole so the trials and challenge would be everything he goes through once he's in the grid. So the motorcycle race stuff, all the different games and things he has to do, teaming up with Tron. Bum, 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 bum. And yeah, those are the trials and challenges. Just going up against the MCP, escaping, getting out of the computer again.
Good. I say that's fine for trials and challenges.
Yeah.
So what's his real reason to go there?
It's to like find the hero within himself, the leader within himself. To I guess the whole thing about programs, they want to be free. There's a whole like sort of like freedom, integrity, like letting the computer be, letting ChatGPT come to life. I don't know. That's sort of what I would. Integrity and freedom.
I have here to understand the nature of reality in his own creative power is what I sourced. But
nature of reality and his own creative power. Okay, yes. So he's created this alternate reality inside. I mean, that's not incorrect. I guess I'm just coming at it from a different direction.
Okay, but I see that's cool. I like that there are multiple directions.
Yeah,
that's why it's last. All right, here's an easy one. Superman 78.
Oh yeah.
Quester, Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm.
Place to go, Metropolis. Because we start in Smallville.
Yep.
Or technically Earth, if you want to like.
Sure, but yeah.
Right? Reason to go, to protect the city and all of its people.
Well, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because his quest as Superman really starts when he goes to Metropolis, right?
Yes.
And so
yes. Well, yes.
I think the quest in total starts when he leaves Kansas. He's like, I gotta go, Ma.
Yeah.
I know your husband just died, my father, but I'm gonna leave you alone now for 12 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's when he leaves Kansas. Certainly by the time he leaves the fortress.
No, definitely by the time when he first leaves Kansas, because he's got the MacGuffin, right?
Yeah.
Wherever this leads me.
Yep.
But it evolves from that to the north and then to Metropolis. But then Metropolis is kind of the resting place.
It is. Yeah. Hackensack, New Jersey. That's the place. That's the place to go.
That's the one. That's the go there.
Hackensack, New Jersey.
He has to go there because of the obvious trial, Lex Luthor, and his evil plans.
Yes.
There really are no challenges for Superman per se up until that point. Like that, his first night out, not an issue.
Right.
Doesn't like none of those things are challenges for
right.
him. Like the movie is pretty explicit in that. Like he just takes care of things.
Yep.
Like there's no tension whether he's going to like catch the robbers or
save that helicopter or
save Frisky,
yes,
like they're just going to they just happen. They were always going to happen. Lex is the real challenge. Clark has more challenges, right?
Clark has challenges. Yeah.
Fitting in, his love life, the job, all of that. That's
young Clark technically maybe this is before when we said that the quest starts, but like young Clark has all these challenges of hiding his powers, growing up, and learning how to.
Well, those are those are still
those
are
carry
still-
into adulthood.
They carry into his quest too,
Yeah.
because the whole reason he leaves is because he knows he's not like
Right.
everybody else.
Right,
So
right.
but his challenges are also because he's not like everybody else.
Yep.
So real reason to go there is to it's like self-identity.
Yep.
Himself as a hero, but it's really more about him accepting himself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I would say the limitations of his powers, but he don't have any in this movie.
Not really. Yeah.
No, he can reverse time. He has no
Right.
limitations.
Right.
But I guess it is him. It is him accepting. It is him accepting.
Is he
His role as a godlike being.
I guess.
In
Yeah.
some ways.
Yeah.
Because why didn't he just reverse enough to save Pa?
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
back long enough. Let's do it all over again, man.
Right.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do?
It's It's interesting. It's like he doesn't really learn in that movie. He doesn't learn to like really cope with the consequences of his choices.
No, that's what the second movie's about.
Right.
Yeah. Which is interesting because they were filmed together and
Yes.
written together.
Yes.
That the first movie is an establishment of comfortability.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second movie is the deconstruction of that comfortability.
Right. Take him out of his comfort zone.
Right. So if you kind of like the story, it's kind of like Star Wars, where like A New Hope is about him becoming a Jedi
Right.
or like learning that, but it's so early that you don't really get the completion of that story
Right.
until Return of the Jedi, and even then you don't really get it until like
The prequels.
the Rise of Skywalker.
Well,
really.
well, for Luke, yeah.
For Luke, I was thinking Luke specifically.
Yeah,
like,
for Luke,
as the
yes.
character
Yes,
goes on, but
yes.
anyway,
Yeah.
That's Superman. Yeah,
That's Superman. Yeah, that's real reason. Yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't do the real reason, the self-discovery.
right. No, that was the real reason. Is the learning to
Yeah. Okay.
learning
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
limitations and not limitations as a hero.
Yeah.
But we discovered in the conversation that he doesn't have limitations.
Right.
Really. And so
Yeah. So it is that you're right. Self-acceptance, all that. Yes, you did say that. Yep.
yes, but it is his self-acceptance. That's
Mhm.
why he smiles at the camera.
Right.
He's remarkably unsmiley when we see him as a teenager.
It's true. Yeah.
So full acceptance. 2009's Star Trek, J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, a favorite amongst us.
Yes.
Western. You could go Spock, you can go Kirk.
Yeah.
Both work because it's both of their movies.
It is both.
Narrative. Yep.
It is definitely both.
It definitely branches to both.
Yep.
So let's tackle. Do you want to do
I
Kirk?
think we can do both. I think we can. Let's parallel path both.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Even with I read the novelization of it. And
I think I did too, actually.
Did
now
you?
that say that? Pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Zachary Quinto does the audiobook. And that's what that's how I consumed it. But and like I believe that do you remember this? The chapters like alternate of like a Kirk chapter, a Spock chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yep.
that yeah? Okay.
I have a memory of reading the Spock chapter when he's in school.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I think that's what sticks in my head. But anyway, yes, they're both the Questers. It's the two of them.
They're both the Questers. Place to go is
Space.
yeah, the Final Frontier.
Yeah.
Starfleet.
Arguably Starfleet, USS Enterprise. Like you could go in a bunch of different
Yeah.
directions for this one, but Starfleet or space is actually for both of them as nebulous as you can kind of get.
Yeah.
Because that's basically where they like, especially for Kirk, like
Especially for Kirk.
It's space. They
Mhm.
happen to be on the Enterprise.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Out there somewhere is really where they're trying to go.
Out there.
Yeah.
Reason to go there to be a Starfleet officer.
Yep, to like
Or space.
live up to his father's legacy.
Both of either in defiance of for Kirk, but for Spock, it's kind of in defiance
Yes.
of. So whereas Kirk is trying to live up to the legacy of his father, Spock is purposely avoiding the legacy of his entire people. You know, they're like,
Yes.
you don't want to go to Starfleet,
Right.
like come to the Science Academy, you know. And
He
he's like,
is.
no,
But he's also trying to bring like Vulcan-ness to with him. You know, like he tries to keep that. He tries to uphold logic and Vulcan
he does.
ideals and everything, even when he is turning his back on them in a sense.
He does, but he's turning his back on them because he's got special affection for his mother, who is Terran, Earthling.
Yes, Terran. Yeah.
Terran, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Because they don't accept him. They don't fully accept him.
Correct.
And he doesn't want to be there if he's not.
So I'm
fully
getting
accepted.
to whereas Kirk is getting in a little bit into real reason to go there, but whereas Kirk is longing for acceptance because he has not been accepted his whole life for who he is. And so, but then you also have Spock, who has also not really been accepted for who he is.
Yeah.
At this moment, but Kirk's is all about his dad.
Yeah.
And Spock's is all about his mom.
Yeah. That's right.
I've never really thought about that in the film before.
Yeah.
As parallels, like it's there.
It's there. It is right there.
I've never really thought about it. Man,
No.
it's
Yeah, that's good. Oh man, it's tight. It's tight.
It's tight. That's what it is. Yeah, that's right. So vengeful Romulan, Nero.
Right.
Hello, Christopher. I'm Nero. And
that would be a trial and challenge.
Ice planets,
giant monsters,
monsters.
Cloverfield monsters, your whole planet getting destroyed.
Whole planet getting destroyed. That's a big one. Yeah, that's a big one. Yep. Well, what's interesting about that one, as far as like, he joined Starfleet because he leans hard into Terran.
Yes.
This version
Yes.
of Spock. He's much more emotional.
Yes.
And so for his Vulcan planet, for his Vulcan side's planet to be destroyed, like, is him in some ways he's like, he has kind of destroyed that part of himself as well. Because when he goes to Vulcan, what does he do on Vulcan? Try to save the Terran on Vulcan.
Right.
He doesn't necessarily say, he's not really shooting to save Vulcan. That's what everybody else is doing.
Yes.
He's going to save the Earth part, the one singular Earth part of Vulcan. Dang, that movie, no, it's tight. That movie is great. Yeah.
Watch that movie again, man.
Yeah. All right. Podcast over. Frank and I are
let's
gonna
go.
do a Zoom, a movie night for ourselves. Oh man. Good stuff.
One of these days.
Yeah, right.
Their rivalry with each other is also a trial and challenge for
Good
each
point.
of them.
Yes.
Because like that gets Kirk thrown off the Enterprise, that rivalry, right? So like that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Hiding under, beds.
Yes.
Challenge. Yes.
Kobayashi Maru.
That's a good challenge. Well, no, that's not a challenge. No. Almost getting expelled from Starfleet Academy. That's a challenge.
Yes.
All of this is in the name of self-discovery.
Yes.
Kirk's self-discovery, to grow into leadership, his strengths, to learn how much like his father he really is. Like the guy that will sacrifice himself for the betterment of everybody else, right? Which also makes sense in terms of Kirk, the guy that is just like, no, I'm gonna leave the ship. I'll go on the away mission.
Right.
Sir, you're the captain.
Right.
Nope, well, yep, but I'm gonna protect people. That's what I do. That's what my dad did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's also like in doing that, he's learning, like he's also shedding that like bad boy, bar brawl thing, and learns some humility and some respect and responsibility. Like he grows up, essentially.
Yep. What does Spock do?
He learns to accept both sides of himself.
Sure does. Because who does he meet? Vulcan Spock.
He meets other Spock. Yeah.
He meets other Spock, right? Who's much more Vulcan than him.
Right.
So he learns to accept both sides of himself. and that side of himself that is what's interesting. What I like about it is that the side of himself that he doesn't like is the brash side,
Mm-hmm.
right? The emotional side that he tries very hard to suppress, but that's all Jim Kirk is like pure swinging emotion,
Yes.
right? And so like Spock, in a lot of ways, dislikes him because he dislikes that part of himself. It's the the shadow self or the mirror self.
Yes, the shadow self. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
the mirror
man,
self is something else. That's for you. Everyone has beards.
yeah, that's
and,
what
yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
right. The
Yeah.
one thing missing from the Star Trek sequels, yeah, mirror universe.
If they ever make that fourth one,
come on, fourth one.
Let's see them with goatees. Come on.
Yeah, no, that fourth one. That's definitely a movie that's not going to get made.
That's never gonna happen.
No,
that's never gonna happen.
Which is a shame.
It's gonna be like the Superman 5, the like just sort of legendary what if turns into
it's there. Yeah, in your brain.
Yeah. And there'll probably be a giant spider creature.
A random Bajoran snare beast.
Yes, Bajoran snare beast.
Nailed it. Yeah,
good. Yeah, I like that.
Just needed a random Star Wars
Bajoran
planet.
was good. Bajoran was good, just like obscure enough. Just perfect.
Yeah, only obscure if you're not into DS9. That
Right.
is not obscure in the slightest. But anyway, Frank, this one is very special to you and me, and maybe to nobody else listening to this, but it doesn't matter. Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. So the greatest thing to come out of the writer's strike
of 2008. We have to specify which one now.
2008. Good point.
So Billy, Dr. Horrible, is the quester.
Place to go. The laundromat.
The laundromat. The
Los
Evil League
Angeles.
of Evil.
Evil League of Evil. Yes, that's actually that's good.
The
His
Evil
place
League
to
of
go-
the Evil League of Evil and like Penny is the other place to go.
Yeah, so like Billy has his own quest, and Dr. Horrible
Right.
has his quest in some
Right,
way.
right.
And so the reason to go to the Evil League of Evil is to prove his evilness,
Mhm.
right? How evil he can be.
And Billy just wants to impress Penny or like befriend Penny.
Right. To see it's just so to show how lovely he is,
Right.
right? There's two sides of himself. Trials along the way, Captain Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And his hammerness.
Yes.
So the Evil League of Evil, Bad Horse be having, I guess
we saw the
we saw
you tried to pull today.
We saw the disaster. We saw the but anyway, Captain Hammer stopping stuff, and there being stipulations from Bad Horse now.
Sure.
We saw the heist. We saw
also like the freeze ray always being on the fritz and that kind of the inventions just never working.
Yep, all good. So then his real reason to go is to grapple with his ideals and the consequences of his choices.
Yeah.
But so but he's got to merge Dr. Horrible and Billy together, right?
Yeah.
Because he basically kills Billy.
Yes, I say Billy has to get sublimated to Dr. Horrible. Like for one to win, the other has to. It's zero sum. The other has to lose. So he gets everything he wanted, but it leaves him feeling empty.
Right. Which is great. Great in the last shot of the whole thing is an empty lab, right? Because it's just
a thing.
Yeah, because he's empty. He's empty.
Oh man.
Yeah, good stuff.
Tim, you're making me want to rewatch all this stuff from 2008, 2009.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Unrelated, but I saw the Booster Gold series from 2008 Omnibus is going on sale this week.
Wow.
So I actually really did think of you. I was like, this is for Frank.
Oh, that's funny.
Obviously.
That is so funny.
Yep. All right. This one is especially for you.
Okay.
Because this was podcast territory for you for a long time.
Oh, yes. Okay. I think this probably needs to be our last one for today.
Ooh. Okay. Do you want to make this the last one? Do you want to do two Joss Whedons?
True. What comes at do you have one more after this?
I do have I have a few more after this. Let's do another Joss Whedon after this one.
Oh, no.
Let's end with the Avengers: Age of Ultron. Damn, Joss Whedon, you're just everywhere. Get out of here.
Age of Ultron. And on that note, all right, fine.
Now we're gonna end on Age of Ultron because there's a lot of people in it, and so
sure, okay, yeah.
Narrow down who the quester is. Just kidding. It's Marvel, so it's Tony Stark. Yeah. Like as anybody else for a long time. This is silly. Place to go. There's a lot of places to go, but it's all in the reason to go is all in the name of stopping Ultron. Right. So it doesn't really Sokovia, South Korea, Avengers Tower, whatever. It's all in the name of stopping Ultron.
Stopping Ultron.
Trials and challenges, Ultron.
Ultron, airports.
No, that's Civil War.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
lifting the hammer.
Lifting the hammer. That's a good one. Yeah. Language.
Unless you're Steve. Language.
Grappling with your language.
Language.
What is the real reason that Tony goes on this whole journey, though?
Because he saw Scarlet Widow and he wanted to. No, never mind. Maybe not. Tony wants to he's got his PTSD from
the first movie.
From the first movie, yeah. I'm trying to think what they called the event, but yeah, from that. What did they call the event in universe?
The Loki invasion.
Loki, yeah.
The I know what you mean. There's a not Battle of New York.
Yeah, I can't.
Battle of New York.
Is it Battle of New York? Yes, it is Battle of New York.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So a big light in the sky. One of many. One of many. Right. So the whole reason that he builds Ultron and all this is to confront his own fears of inadequacy, right? To grapple with his own PTSD.
Yes.
But then he has to play out the consequences of very much like Jurassic Park playing God.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So Tony overcompensates. That's what he does. He gets afraid and then he overcompensates. Afraid and he overcompensates.
Yep.
Over and over and over and over and over and over again since the first Iron Man.
That is what he does. He takes it too far. He's too reactive.
Definitely could have escaped Afghanistan in a different way than he did.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter.
Right?
Because he escalates. And so, but he reached the point where his escalations now have severe consequences. For the entire Marvel universe. And that's his self-discovery that he finally grapples with in Endgame. It's great.
Right.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's that's right. It is a I haven't rewatched Ultron.
So long has it been since I've seen that film.
I don't know if I've seen it since the first time I saw it, to be honest with you. Maybe I've seen it once since then. I've not seen that movie a lot. It left such a sort of meh taste in my mouth at the time, that I just sort of didn't care to revisit it all that much. But in a post-Endgame world, it actually takes on a more importance in that.
Totally.
In that, it is a big step for Tony on the path to Endgame. So the ultimate sacrifice is going to make it Endgame. Him learning that he takes it too far. Him realizing that he makes dangerous choices in fear of losing what he has.
Yep. That's it. Bingo.
Yeah. It's a bit, maybe it's not such a bad movie after all. Maybe. There's more content there than I remembered.
Yeah, it's because it's only halfway through. It's only not even half. It's like a quarter of the way through his story.
Right.
So maybe half. And so, of course, doesn't feel complete.
Right.
Yet.
Right.
He hadn't reached that end moment.
I think it's right. It's unresolved, but because things aren't, it's not
Right,
supposed to be
because
resolved yet.
it's only the middle chapter.
But
right?
this is where I think people sometimes criticize because these movies feel like you need to see all of them to get the full effect.
You know what? But you also need to read every chapter in the book to get the full effect.
Yeah, sure. You have to see A New Hope to understand Empire. You have to there's that too.
That's just the nature of franchises. That the franchise is huge.
Yes.
So
yes.
and also, what are you doing? Like,
Do you hate fun? Why do you hate fun?
Yeah, why do you hate fun?
Yeah.
Just go on a ride. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Come on.
It's okay. It's okay. Frank, if people want to go on a ride with us, where would they go?
You'd go on a ride. You'd cruise on over to beerwithgeeks.com. You'd find all our episodes there. You would go to patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio and help us to keep making the show. You would, hey, you know what? If you're on YouTube, head on over to This Comic Cooks, because every month Tim and I are joining our pal Vactor to talk about what happened this month in Superman, both in comics and in movie news and all that fun stuff. So we're doing monthly stuff. We've been doing it since January. We've done it every month since. So check those out over on This Comic Cooks on YouTube. And otherwise, you can rate, review us, and all that good stuff anywhere you get your podcasts.
Right on. Frank, always a pleasure to chat with you. And so until next time, cheers.
Cheers.